there, Katie Freiling here. Hope you're doing awesome, and it's great to be here with you today. So I'd like to share with you an instant mindset shift that really works like magic. And I'm not kidding you. This is an instant mindset shift to help you get into the game, to help you really create and manifest what it is that you want in business and in life. And I'd like to share a personal example, personal story of something that happened with me recently to illustrate this mindset shift and the real, true, magical power of it. So the other day, I was shooting some professional videos for an upcoming project of mine, which, by the way, I'm really, really excited to be sharing with you very soon, so stay tuned. So I was filming these videos with a professional crew, and we were out on the cliffs out in San Diego overlooking the ocean. Absolutely stunningly gorgeous. The only problem, for me anyway, was that it was freezing cold. Alright, so it's February right now in San Diego. Sometimes it's nice and sunny and warm, sometimes by the beach it's absolutely not. So this particular day, it was freezing cold. And for me, being born and raised in Southern California, I'm not used to the cold. So for those of you who are listening to this and you're out, experiencing a very snowy, very freezing winter, I give you props. It's not something that my body is used to. So I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to the cold. So I didn't want to have to wear my jacket in the shoot, right? And even wearing my jacket beforehand, I was still just shaking and convulsing, and hands are like numb and freezing and purple, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how I can do this, it's so cold, right? The wind's hitting me. And so I was just like, okay, no, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So I took off the jacket, I'm sitting there freezing, right, shaking, and like, okay, we're gonna, push play. And once I get started, and I take my mind off of how cold I am, and I become truly focused and engaged in what I'm creating, in speaking and sharing and talking into the camera, something quite magical happened. I was no longer cold. And the weather temperature didn't raise, the sun didn't come out, nothing different happened except for me. I shifted my focus from how cold I was to focusing on what I was creating in the moment, to focusing on speaking to you. And it was really amazing for me to experience, because as I'm talking into the camera and I'm actually okay, I'm no longer shaking, I'm no longer cold, I'm just focused and I'm there and I'm present and I'm speaking, the thought came in of, oh my gosh, I'm not cold, this is great, so I just kept going and going and going. And then once we had to hit cut, because sometimes there were fighter jets flying by or something noisy, or something that we had to cut for, instantly, once they would cut the cameras and I stopped filming, instantly cold again. Instantly shaking, and oh my god, it's so cold, give me my jacket, I'm freezing. And it happened again. When I'd come back, take the jacket off to shoot some more, not cold. And to me, I was like, wow, it was really, really powerful for me to experience firsthand the fact that just by simply shifting my attention and focus to what I'm engaged on in the moment and really manifesting results, all the other stuff that was bothering me, the temperature and shaking and all that, it wasn't even there. It wasn't even part of my reality, part of my experience. So for me, it really showed me the power of my mind, the power of our minds, and what it really does to our reality, how we really truly are what we focus on. We are what we focus on, because what we're focusing on is what's occurring in our reality in that moment. So it's all a part of us. It's what is occurring. So the moment we take our focus from one thing to another, that is now what our reality is. It's what we're focusing on. And so, you really can take a look at this and look at your own life with, what am I really focusing on, on a consistent basis? Am I focusing on what's wrong? Am I focusing on what's wrong with my life, what's wrong with my business, the mistakes I've made, what's not working out, this and that? Or am I focusing on just getting the results? Am I focusing on being present, moving forward, taking one step at a time? It's really, once you get this power of your own mind and your own focus, you can shift anything in an instant. Just like me, you can be freezing cold, shaking your butt off one moment, and the next, because of a simple shift in decision, a choice to then focus on something else, that all can disappear. So I'd like to, just really get a dialogue going here, and I'd love to hear from you if you've had any similar experiences or, something that's happened to you before where you have seen firsthand the power of your own mind and your ability to shift focus, and how that actually changes your reality, how that, completely changes and shifts your experience of life in that moment. So, I also did one of Tony Robbins' events, Unleash the Power Within, back, I think it was around 6 or 7 months ago, and we did the fire walk. So we got into our, we shift our mindset to really know, okay, we're walking across the hot coals, and while we were walking, we were trained to think about cold moss. We're thinking cold moss, cold moss, cold moss. So as we're walking across the fire, these hot coals, once you start, thinking about cold moss, it's not hot, right? You can walk across it fine. The moment that you stop and the moment you take your attention off of focusing on cold moss to focusing on, oh my God, there's, hot fire below me that I'm walking on, that's when you'll get burned. It's that moment where you shift your attention that will change your experience and will make the difference between not getting burned at all and walking across the hot coals successfully, or walking across the hot coals and having your feet blister up and burn and potentially have to go to the emergency room. So, for anybody who's gone to a Tony Robbins event or done any sort of, real extreme personal growth exercise like that, wow, my mind is so powerful. I really can magically create the results that I want, the experience that I want, the reality that I want, once I know that I can shift my focus. And simply by shifting my focus, I will experience that. So very, very powerful, you guys. I thought it was really interesting for me, especially with this whole temperature thing, since it's normally not something that I can, have mind over matter control over. I've had people say that to me in the past, like, if I'm really cold, they'll say, oh, it's mind over matter, and I'm like, no, I'm cold, but it was the first time that with that particular experience of being cold, I really saw that I can shift my focus and my attention and actually not be cold, even though I'm in, whatever degree weather it was freezing, and the whole video crew was freezing. But in that moment, because my focus was on something else, I didn't even feel it. So anyway, would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your personal experience has been around this, around the power of focus, and how it's helped you create results in your life. Or if not, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. If you, got a lot of value out of this, if it's something that you're ready to experience and apply in your own life in different situations, share with us. Would love to hear from you. All right, so again, leave a comment and share on Facebook and Twitter if you like this video here today. And I will be speaking with you shortly, so stay tuned. Thank you so much.